Hey, everybody. I hope you had a really good Wednesday. I had a really long Wednesday. It was a long Wednesday. I did some teaching today and did a couple of podcasts with my friend Stephanie Goss. Uncharted vet podcast coming out that I think people are going to really like them. They're good episodes. So yeah, it's a long Wednesday. You can see the trees here in South Carolina. Still looking pretty green, but it's cool here. My tomato plants back behind me. I'm so proud of my tomato plants. They make the ugliest tomatoes. I'm not gonna lie. If my tomatoes taste amazing, they are not good to look at. They are deformed, and they run out of water, and then I water them, and so like the skin splits, which is amazing. Did you know if a tomato plant doesn't get enough water, and then it gets more water, like the tomatoes grow so fast, their skin splits? I know that because I have ugly, scarred tomatoes. My tomatoes look like tomatoes that were sentenced to a time in a maximum security penitentiary. That's what they look like. They are beaten, ugly, scarred up tomatoes. But man, they taste good. Anyway, that's it. It's been a good Wednesday. It's been a long Wednesday. I saw one of my friends today, and she's a doctor, and she works really hard. I know she works hard, and she had one of her techs quit today, and man, is she beat up about it. Like you can just tell it's really affected her, and I've just been thinking about it. And I think that a lot of us feel like stuff like that is a personal failing. You know, we're like, oh man, somebody quit, and it's because I'm not a good boss, or I'm not doing everything, or like I'm failing, or the practice isn't what it's supposed to be. And I just wanted to get on because one, I'm thinking about my friend, but two, you know, I think a lot of times in medicine, there's a lot of posing, and there's a lot of flexing, and there's a lot of trying to make it look like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, and everything is fine, and I've got this. And I just want to tell you, like, look, medicine's hard. It's just hard, and life is hard. It's winding. One of my favorite sayings is, life's not about standing tall. It's about getting back up when you get knocked down. And I really believe that. I think that all of us who have been in this game for any amount of time have gotten our butts kicked, and we've had cases go sideways, and we have clients get angry at us, and we have had employees be unhappy and leave. And I just want to get on and say, it's just life, It's a balance, right? Like, it doesn't mean I don't want to do better. It doesn't mean I'm not always working to get better, a little bit better today than I was yesterday. But at the same time, it's never easy. It's never going to be easy. And so I just want to say to all those people out there who are having a bad day, and they had a case that went crappy, and they had a hard day, and pet owners got mad at them, it's not about you. It's just about the way that these things go. And it doesn't mean you're not good at your job. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you're not great. It still happens. Clients get mad at me. I get cases wrong. I piss off the technicians. I do. I love them, but I still make them mad sometimes. It's just, it's part of being a human being. And I think a lot of times we forget that, right? I think a lot of times we think that we're supposed to have it nailed down. Look, you're great. You are good enough. You do good work. If you try hard every day, if you want to be better than you are, if you admit that you're a flawed person and you're going to keep working just to try to be less flawed in the future, that's it, guys. If you know why you do this job, if you care about people, if you care about pets, if you still, feel deeply, that's all it takes. That's it. You're good. And just accept that there's going to be setbacks, and there's going to be headaches, and there's going to be hardships, and there's going to be stuff that that is tough. That you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. It's what we signed up for. So anyway, yeah, Dawn says pet medicine is not black and white. It's gray. Things get missed. Yeah, I think we should just own that. I think there's this idea of like, oh, we're all perfect. Put on your perfectly pressed, beautiful white jacket. It's like, nah, it's all gray. Well, this is an imperfect world with imperfect solutions and imperfect situations. Just as long as you try, as long as you care, as long as you listen, as long as you're kind, as long as you're better today than you were yesterday, or last week, last year, you're good at your job, and things are going to get better in the future. That's it. Kate says, "Thank you. We're all survivors." Yeah, Kate, I agree with you. Like, that's just welcome aboard, gang. But yeah, I get tired sometimes of seeing a lot of posing and like, oh yeah, I've got this all figured out. And I'm like, I don't think that's helpful for everybody. I've really come to believe it's helpful to believe that like we're all making our way, and it's hard. And you don't see the behind the scenes. You see the front stage, right? You see what people put on Instagram. I think that may make us feel worse when things go. I think it may make us feel worse when things go sideways because we think that other people are crushing it. And I just want to say, you're doing fine. There's nothing black and white in medicine, never an exact science, and we are all doing the best we can. Yes, I completely agree with that. You just have to set a boundary for when you're a very giving person. Yes, Brooke, I completely agree with that. You do have to set a boundary. You have to decide what's reasonable and what you can do. And then you have to be okay with that. Like, you have to say, I'm giving myself, I'm working as hard as I can. And then you have to be kind to yourself. And then you have to go on with your life. But thanks, Brooke. I really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm just kind of hanging out. Yeah. Oh, man. Wendy recently retired at 68 because of heart issues, missed the work. Man, Wendy, you get it. I mean, this is a great profession that means something, I know. I think I would miss the work terribly if I wouldn't get to do it. But, it's for all of us making our way, through the profession. It's just kind of, it's what we do, one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. I think that's enough. Anybody who's got any questions for me, I got a couple more minutes. Yesterday was my worst birthday, so happy birthday, Allison Roark. I love you. I love you more now than when I married you, and that's true. And we're going to go out and have birthday dinner. But until she's ready, I'm just kind of kicking around with you guys. Oh, man. Missy misses it every day, buddy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Crystal asked what state I work in. I'm in South Carolina. I live in Greenville, South Carolina. So that's it. Anything else? Yeah, happy birthday to her. She is 23 years old. She's had that birthday a couple of times now. But she's amazing. So, anyway. Hey, Linda Miller. Linda and I were classmates at the University of Florida. Linda is a theory-genealogy amazing professor. She was at LMU as a professor last time I saw her. God, what a small profession we have. Cool. Oh, basil and mozzarella will make your tomatoes look and taste great. There's a pot right down there. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. No, I can't. There's a pot in between my tomatoes, and it's a basil plant. And I'm like, yeah, tomatoes and basil. Yeah, Laura, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I think a lot of people are struggling. I think a lot of us really want to do. I think a lot of us really we want to know that we're doing okay, right? And we want to know that we're doing it right. And yeah, I just think more of us should just say this ain't nothing perfect in medicine, especially vet medicine, where there's no health insurance, there's no Obamacare for pets. We're all trying to figure out how to make it work. God, we need to be kinder to ourselves. So yeah, yeah. Oh, Bethany says our staff loves what's on my Scrubs game. Yeah, guys, we are sold out of those, but I've got another order in, and so I should have them. I don't think I'm gonna have them for Christmas. I'm not gonna have them for Christmas, which is a bummer because I'm like, oh, I'd love to have what's on my Scrubs games for Christmas. We're gonna have them by January though. January. I hope to have them in January. But we got another. We ordered another couple thousand of them. I had no idea. Honestly, when we did the What's on My Scrubs games, I worked with Vet Tech Kelsey, who is a creative genius, just so you know. And we came up with the game, and we worked on the game together, and we made it. And I went to my team, and I was like, "How many of these do you think people will buy?" And I said, 500. Absolutely, the most is 500. And I was beaten by the team, and they were like, "No, it is going to be so many more." And I was like, I don't believe this." And so I think ultimately, we ordered 1,000, maybe 1,500, and they sold out in like 2 weeks. And I have not heard the end of it. I was clearly very mistaken about how many people want to play What's on My Scrubs. I love it. It's super fun. And God, we need stuff in vet medicine that makes people laugh. Like, we need stuff that the team does and just has fun with. Like, we need more of that. And, like, that's why we made the game. But, man, the fact that people actually, like, bought it and play it and love it, like, God, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Anyway, it is, yeah. Do you do podcasts? Oh, man. Heck yeah, Jennifer. I have 2 podcasts. The Cone of Shame veterinary podcast is just interviewing the most interesting people in vet medicine about what I'm interested in. And so it's very topic based. Let's see. Tomorrow, a new episode comes out with Dr. Peter Weinstein. He wrote the E-Myth Veterinarian Edition. He's also a good friend of mine. We talk about The Troops Are Tired. And why do we run vet medicine like a sprint when it's a marathon? And that's what Peter and I talk about. That episode comes out tomorrow. So that's the Cone of Shame. And if you're a business person, I do the Uncharted Veterinary podcast with Stephanie Goss. So I do both of those podcasts. But yeah, they're weekly. They've grown really, really, really big. I've been blown away. But yeah, if you like podcasts, check out Cone of Shame. And if you're a business person, definitely check out Uncharted Vet Podcast. Yeah. Oh, man. April says, I don't know how it is in South Carolina, but in PA, we're booked 4 to 6 weeks out. Our emergency hospitals are turning people away because everyone is so short-staffed. It's just absolutely ridiculous right now, and people just aren't kind anymore. April, it is. I try to empathize with pet owners, right? Because I want to serve good people. I don't want to be like, oh, pet owners are jerks. I hear people go down that path, and man, as soon as you start thinking the pet owners are jerks, you're going to be unhappy. You know what I mean? Because we work too hard to think that we work for a-holes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we work for good people. And the nature of our work means that we see people when they're stressed and they're at their worst. And so, yeah, I really try to hold on to the idea that people are good, they're just stressed. At the same time, it's not lost on me that, man, restaurant servers, they're quitting their jobs because people treat them bad. I talked to this lady at the UPS store, and I went in, and I went to get stamps, and she said, "What kind of stamps do you want?" And I said, "I would like the coffee stamps." And she said, "I'm sorry, we're out of the coffee stamps. Do you want American flag stamps?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And she said, "Thank you so much for being nice to me." And I said, "What?" "What?" She's like, "People get really mad when I don't have the stamps they want." And I said, Are you serious? They're mean to you?" And she was like, "So mean." I'm like, for God's sakes, people are mean to the woman at the UPS store who doesn't have coffee stamps? Because she doesn't have coffee stamps? That's insane. But they are. And I think people are really stressed. And boy, do they bring it to the vet clinic. So, it's... I think it's our line. But here's the other thing, too. I am a big believer that we, in vet medicine, we got to take care of ourselves. And we got to take care of our people. And so I'm a big fan. In human medicine, they have... They started doing a patient bill of rights. And they would have this in the hospital. And then they changed it to the patient rights and responsibilities, which I really like. And I believe it's time for us in vet clinics to have client rights and responsibilities. And rights because we need to tell them how they're going to be treated. And we need to tell them what we're going to do for them and how, and and what they can expect from us. But they also have responsibilities. And part of the responsibility is treating our people with respect. And if you can't treat vet people with respect, then you need to go somewhere else. And I think we need to get better at checking people out on their ears. And it's like, I'm sorry, I want to take care of your pet, but you're not going to come in here and abuse me. And you're not going to abuse my staff. And you're not going to treat us bad. And I will always treat you with respect. But I'm going to demand that you treat me with respect as well. And I think we in vet medicine, I think we need to get more serious about letting people know these are the expectations when you come here. And we will always treat you with respect. And we will take care of you. And we will take care of your pet. And we will bend over backwards to serve you. But you're going to treat us with respect too, or you're going to go somewhere else. And maybe that's not a nice thing to say. That's how I feel. Because I'm tired of our people being beaten up. And so anyway, I just think we need to get more serious about that. So, have you played Vets Against Insanity? Juliet, I have a Vets Against Insanity card. It is the highlight of my resume of everything I have done in my career. The fact that there is a Dr. Andy Roark Vets Against Insanity card is one of my favorite things in the world. I do love it. The wonderful doctors who made that game really are wonderful. I love that they do expansion packs. They are great people, and I love how much joy people get out of Vets Against Insanity. It is really good. People should totally, if you don't have that game, you should get it. It's really great. Anything that injects joy and humor back into vet medicine, I'm in favor of. But man, I like those guys, and they do good stuff. Let's see. Just open the ER lobby back up. It seems weird. It does seem weird. I do think we're moving back towards normal. I really do. I think, honestly, guys, I think we're coming to a place where people are either vaccinated or they've been exposed. We're going to get herd immunity through vaccine and exposure combination. I think a lot of us are starting to see or open the lobby back up. I missed it. I got to tell you, at first, I think I was with everybody else too. I think we were all kind of like, hey, this pet owner stay in the car is kind of nice. And I think we all kind of liked it. And then after a while, I think I missed it. I really love people. I love pet owners. I love that we get to talk to them. I love that they share their lives with us. I like to meet. I enjoy people. I really do. I enjoy hearing their stories. I enjoy hearing about, I just tell you, I was in the clinic yesterday and I had a couple of different appointments where people had just gotten new puppies and kittens. And I just like to hear the story of where the puppy and kitten came from. There was this guy, and he's got a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old little boy, and he'd never had pets, and his wife hadn't had pets, and he was like, we need to get a dog for the boys. And his kids got this puppy dog, and they were so awesome. Those are the pet owners who were like, I've never had a dog before, and I really want to get this right, and my kids are here, and I got to be a part of the boys getting their dog, and it was, oh my God, you talk about high energy. It was high energy, and I thought, holy crap, I get to be a part of this wonderful story, and I get to see this piece of their life, and like, guys, that's what I love about vet medicine. I just love it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Levette says, I tell them I can either defend myself or help you. I can't do both. That's true. I can't help you if you're yelling at me. I can't help you if you're angry. Like, I want to help you, but I'm not going to stand here and get beaten up. Oh, man. I'm scrolling along here. Do you think more clients need to be fired? That seems really hard for some deviants. Heck yeah, I do. I mean, again, and like, let me just say, so here's part of the thing with firing clients. So people are like, do more clients need to be fired? Yeah, they do. And I really do think part of our superpower is a double-edged sword. And part of our superpower is we empathize and we're compassionate. And the flip side to that is people who are empathizing and they're compassionate, they're more likely to get walked on. And I think I do think that that's us. The other thing is I really do think a lot of people, a lot of grown-ups are children who are hiding it. They're a bunch of children wearing grown-up clothes. And again, that's all of us. And I think that a lot of people want to know where the boundaries are. And I think that a lot of people come in and they'll act a fool. And if we don't tell those people this is not okay, then they'll do it again. And it's amazing how often people will come in and they will be nasty. And if you tell them, you're not allowed to come in here and treat us like this, it's amazing how often they will immediately apologize. Practices that have fired clients or fire clients, I always say, what percentage of the clients you fire apologize and beg to come back? And guys, it's about 75%. If you tell somebody, you send them a letter and say, you do not get to come in here and treat my people, my staff the way that you did, and you're going to need to find vet care elsewhere, they'll call you and tell you they're sorry and beg you to come back in. And some of them will act like they didn't get the letter. They just show up like, I'm here for an appointment. And you're like, we don't see you anymore. And they're like, I think there's been a mistake. I'm sure that you do. I'm here on my best behavior, and I brought cookies. and they desperately want to come back. I try to be forgiving of people. But yeah, I think a lot of us, we just take too much. And again, vet medicine is a relationship. And people treat you how you let them treat you, to some degree. And again, I'm not talking about turning my back on anybody, but I'm serious about, like, it's time for us just to be like, hey, man, you're going to come in here and raise your voice and swear at my staff. There's another vet in this town. You can go over there. I'm not obligated to see you. I'm definitely not obligated to take your abuse. I don't know. I do think we just need to be more straight with people about, like, yeah, I'm not here to be walked on by you, Oh no, my clinic avoided COVID until now. Literally half the clinic is out with COVID right now. I'm so sorry, Leela. Yeah, I've seen that again and again. It just kicks you when you're down. But that happens a lot. I don't know if it helps, but know you're not alone. Know that this has happened a ton of times. I just see, through Uncharted, I work with vet practices all over the U.S. and Canada, and it just happened. And just like now, you're like, I thought we were out of this, and then you just get wiped out. It is so hard. Oh man. Carolyn says, I work in regulatory vet med, and it's been absolutely insane for us too. It's very tough to stay positive in regulatory vet med, but this year has been so bad. It is hard to stay positive. I tell you what, I think the future is bright though. I really do. It has been hard, but I think the world is opening back up, and I think that there's a lot of opportunities in the future. I'm excited for technicians. I'm excited for our support staff. I see their wages going up. I see their opportunities going up. I tell you, for me, the best thing about the pandemic, if there was the best thing about the pandemic was I was really reminded about the importance of connecting to people and talking to people and being with people. And I think the sort of quarantine made me think that. And I think that while the pandemic has been really hard and it's been really stressful, I don't think I've ever been so focused on being a good part of my community as I am now. And that fills my cup in a way that it wasn't getting filled before. And so, yeah, I think that's something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, my boss made a post, we will not tolerate that behavior. We shouldn't tolerate that behavior. And again, I'm not talking about being a vigilante. I'm not talking about going the warpath and ejecting people who look sideways at us. But in another way, it's like, I don't have to take your abuse. I just don't. So anyway, what are some good gifts to bring to the vets? That's what Dawn asked. Guys, in the comments, help Dawn out. What are good gifts to bring to the vet? Oh man, little things. Honestly, what really happens, I tell you what, a card that's not just to the doctor, but to the staff, that means the world. It really does. Like, you don't need anything, but just having a card that says, hey, I appreciate what you did, or this is what you did, and this is how I felt, that means a ton. And then also, I see cookies. Cookies popped up. And then I say this a lot, the vets get a lot of cards. A card to the staff that recognizes what the paraprofessionals, what our veterinary technicians, what our assistants did. They don't get a lot of cards, and they should. And men, like, feeling appreciated is super important. That said, we like to eat. Cookies are great. The COVID precautions changed some of my favorite things. I was always an edible arrangement guy. You bring me a fruit basket, and I'm a happy guy. Mallory says someone came in at 5 o'clock for an emergency C-section, but they brought cookies. I guess it was okay. I was like, well, at least she brought cookies. I agree. Oh yeah. Um, yeah, so I'm seeing this. That's a sad story. I do see that. I see veterinarians or especially their practice owners. I think if you're a practice owner, the idea of people leaving is always terrifying, because they're responsible for making payroll. And I struggle with that in my business stuff too. I always like, oh my God, if people leave, we'll never be able to pay the salaries of everybody. I'm going to let everybody down and they're all going to end up unemployed and they're all going to be starving and we're all going to live under a bridge together. And like, those are the types of weird thoughts that I end up having. So I get that practice owners, like, they really want to keep those clients. But guys, practice owners, I got to tell you, if your staff is feeling abused, and if they dread when a client comes in, and when your manager says we have got to get rid of this client, and you don't back them up, or you stand by while people treat them crappy, you're going to get a bad surprise, because ultimately, you can tell them they're important all the time, but talk is cheap. And so standing up for your people, I think that's a requirement if you want them to stick with you. Cool. Do you think human medicine puts up with it? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I suspect I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm going to think about that, Michelle. You kind of stumped me on that. I don't know what it's like in human medicine. I'm sure it varies by the specialty. If you go to the dermatologist and you treat them like a jerk, I know that they'll eject you. I know the dentists will. I remember one time I got upset with a dentist because I couldn't get in, and they were like, "You need to transfer out," and I'm like, I'm not upset. Like I think they gotten sort of trigger happy, or they didn't want more clients, or but they're like, we don't think we're going to be able to work with you. And I'm like, I'm not an angry person. Like, I don't get mad at people. I still remember because I was completely blown away that it happened to me. I was like, are you serious? They were like hair triggering. I guess I had said like, hey, are you sure that we need to do these tests? Do I really need to pay for this thing again? And they were like, that's it, sir. You're out of here. And so dentists don't mess around. And I'm not saying we should be like the dentist, or at least that dentist, but I think that we can be better than we are. Food, liquor, cards, etc. That's a weekend in Vegas. Like, whatever you guys want to bring in, we're totally fine with that. That all works for me. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Laura, I'm 8 months pregnant, and I'm so tired all the time. I feel like I can't keep up every day, and it's affecting my team. They are so supportive, but I feel so guilty. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Laura, don't feel guilty. You are doing the best that you can do. You are doing. You should not feel guilty for working 8 months pregnant. For God's sakes, the fact that you're there is amazing. I'm sure your team appreciates it. They should work with you to try to figure out, things that you can do that are going to work for you and work for them. But for God's sakes, my friend, you are not allowed to feel guilty. Dr. Andy Roark, I'm telling you, you're not allowed to feel guilty. Do not feel guilty for what you're able to do at 8 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant, for being tired. That's not okay. You are amazing. You are making a human being while you do another job. And that, my friends, is incredible. And so I want you to feel good. Guys, I'm getting a tap on the window. It's time for my wife's birthday dinner. I've never just sat and talked like this, but I gotta do this again. If you guys are up for it, I love it. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And happy birthday to my wife. See you later, gang. Bye.